the last part of this is Russell Wilson comes for $1.2 million. The legal tampering period starts today at noon. We had a whole free agency preview ready to go. We're talking about it yesterday. I got 4 or 5 pages worth of notes ready to rock. We're putting that on the back burner for tomorrow. There's one name, though, that I think associates itself very well to the situation that the Pittsburgh Steelers have found themselves in. They're currently sitting somewhere around $28 million in salary cap space. They got more moves to come to clear up salary cap space. I'm going to dive into all that tomorrow with Nick. Let's talk about one name Russ could possibly bring over here from the Denver Broncos, and that is Justin Simmons. Could you imagine if he makes a phone call and says, hey, you should come to Pittsburgh, let's go win a Super Bowl? Is Justin Simmons saying no to that situation? And, I mean, Russ just signed a $1.2 million deal. They are spending no money at quarterback. Is it a possibility? Like, is it a realistic possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now? Whereas maybe a couple days ago, it was like, oh, that would be awesome. Now maybe it could happen.
Absolutely. I think it absolutely could happen. Like you said, I don't like we talked about at the top, like I don't think there was a terrible relationship between Russell Wilson and the rest of the locker room in Denver. It's not like there's some big divide between him and Justin Simmons, at least to my knowledge. I wonder what the contract's going to look like for Justin Simmons, but like you said, they have money. Like especially, signing a potential starting quarterback for a veteran minimum. Like I think they're spending less than $4 million total on quarterbacks right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like worst case scenario, you're signing a late round rookie, and like that's not adding to it either. So you've got some cash to throw around, and I feel like with that money, you have to look at the safety market right now. Like there are too many good safeties out there right now for you to not consider adding one of them, whether it's Justin Simmons, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Jordan Whitehead too. Like there are tons of names out there that you have to look at, and Simmons has to be like Simmons is one of those elite guys.
Yes.
One of those. I don't know if he's gonna like. You're not signing Justin Simmons for $15 million at this point, right?
No,
like,
no.
that's
I
what
think
he
his
was
market
making
value
for.
is 2. I checked it last night. It was 2 for 11 a year, 2 for 22, $11.1 million a year.
Oh hell yeah, I'm doing that. Like a 2-year deal, especially like that's. I mean, he's 31, so I don't think you're taking a long-term risk on a guy at that age. But
No,
for 2 years and $11 million, that is a slam dunk. That is the easiest contract I would ever sign in the history of my life if I was the Steelers.
I agree. I look at it and say that was the first name that came up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Your head's going a billion. My knees haven't stopped. Like when you're working so much, your legs are just shaking, and eventually, like hours go by, you're like, "Wow, dude, I'm hurting." That's where I was at 6 o'clock this morning, and the first name that came to mind was, "Dude, this could mean Justin Simmons is coming to Pittsburgh. Like, why would he not come to Pittsburgh?" Russ sent him a message on Twitter when the announcement came out. He was like, "Can't wait to see what's next." Why not come to Pittsburgh if Russ is thinking, like, because that's my thought, is Russ is thinking Super Bowl. Russ is not thinking, I'm here to make $1.2 million this season. Russ is thinking Super Bowl. And the Steelers are thinking Super Bowl. They're not signing Russell Wilson to come in here for $1.2 million and saying, hey, look, we're really just trying to go 9-8. That would be really nice if we could continue the streak, and we just want to make sure that we have the options available to continue the streak. Everybody's thinking Super Bowl. Justin Simmons, I mean, I think if you make that phone call, if you're Russell Wilson and you say, hey, I think if Mike Tomlin makes the phone call, hey, look we got Russ, let's go win a Super Bowl. And then Russ calls it and piggybacks off that and says, hey, let's go win a Super Bowl. I think the chances are high. I think him and Minkah Fitzpatrick would be unreal. I'm cool with paying $30 million for my safeties, which is an absurd number to pay for your safeties, if your quarterback is $1.2 million. Like, there's zero questions asked there. I think it could happen. I think it becomes very realistic as we sit here today, which would be nuts.
Yeah, right. And I mean, we talked about like the quarterback arms race a little bit. You're in a league where there are not a million. There are like a handful of really great. If you want to win at the level that the Steelers want to win, if you want to level up a little bit, and your quarterbacks are Russell Wilson and Kenny Pickett, I think that's a fine situation. I like those guys, but those aren't elite guys. You're not winning a shootout with Patrick Mahomes. You've got to be able to shut him down a little bit. You got to create the best situation to potentially shut one of those guys down. And I think Justin Simmons helps you do that. It turns an already really really, really good defense into possibly an elite defense. So I'm all on board with that. And I think even if Simmons doesn't work out, like you've got 4 or 5 options, I think that give you a similar level of play that could help you really raise the bar for that defense as well.
Yep, it all becomes very realistic. It is crazy to think that the Pittsburgh Steelers have gotten this done. A couple of days ago, it was a 40 to 45% chance. Now it's 100, and the Steelers are looking Super Bowl with the competition between Russell Wilson and Kenny Pickett.